So hello gamers and welcome to another video. I actually recorded this video over a week ago, but I didn't like how it turned out, so I'm gonna re-record it. Last week I was a lot more sad in my video, but this week I'm a little more apathetic to this game. Make sure you're subscribed because big video on this game coming soon. Over the last week I've been up to some stuff with this game, and it hasn't been using the new guns. I literally do not have a single one of these used. I don't even have them purchased. So let's just talk about the downfall of this game, okay? And the best way to do that is to look at the player count. Let's talk about the player count for this game. As you guys know, the movement in this game got completely destroyed about a month and a half ago. I've been monitoring the player count ever since. The movement was nerfed on November 17th, and if we look at just this period of time after the movement update, it actually looks pretty good, right? It got nerfed here, and then the player count did go down quite a bit, but then it jumped up and it was pretty high up, you know? It even got 5,000 players at this time. The problem is this was the beginning of Thanksgiving break, then the player count went down. This was literally Thanksgiving, and there was an update on this day. And then if you look at the days after this, the player count hit a low for a few days that has not been seen other than like a couple of days in October in about 6 or so months, I think. Yeah, this is still actually a little bit higher. This is 3.4. The last time it's been significantly lower was 9 months ago. This kind of came back here, right? But still way lower than some of these times before the update. And then it came back up because of winter break, and then they had the update. But even then, if you guys look at this update, this one had 4,100 players. This one had over 5,300, and I don't think there was an update on that day. It was just a random day. If we look at the last 3 months for the new visits for this game, it's about the same. If we look at the average playtime, it has been about the same, if not lower. Especially if you zoom out, you can see, yeah, this is not a really great trend for this game. And if you guys don't know why I'm bringing up these player count stats, basically they nerfed the movement heavily so new players would come in, because the developers like money. They have probably millions of dollars, but they like having more money, so they wanted more people to come into the game. And to do that, they nerfed movement, and as you guys can see, nothing really has changed. We have seen basically the exact same player count, if not lower. I forgot what other guns they even added. Didn't they add like a bunch of... Yeah, they added a bunch of guns nobody cares about. I'm not even going to use them, dude. The only reason that the player count is decently higher is because they added 11 guns to the game in one update, which is the biggest update for guns ever. To be fair, most of them are basically copy-paste weapons and could have been one gun with like 5 conversions, but whatever. There are some interesting guns here, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna make a video on them. But it's pretty clear that the movement changes have not really had a big effect on the game, right? A lot of the people in my comments who are lower ranks literally didn't even notice it happened. They didn't understand that there was a difference. But for a lot of people that really enjoyed the movement, especially some of the fun movement tech that you could do, those people basically can't play the game anymore. That game is gone. Because guess what? This is a multiplayer game with updates, and basically the version of the game that they liked is completely gone. These are people that would go into a private server just to do movement stuff because that was what was really fun about this game. It's been the fun thing about this game for years now. It even got better in recent updates in some ways, but worse in some ways. And then essentially they took that all away from people and completely killed the pace of the game and just how fun the game is to play. Like the jump cooldown is really annoying. Like it just feels way worse to play this game. Oh yeah, also there's double XP right now. That's probably affecting it as well, but the game isn't really any harder to play. The skill gap isn't much different. When you have better aim than somebody and it's a game with shooting, you're probably gonna win because you're gonna shoot them before they shoot you. It's that simple, you know what I mean? You don't have to do any crazy movement to do that, and the movement was essentially just like a fun thing on the side. Did it make a difference to how well you could perform? Yes, because you could run around the map faster, but in terms of winning fights, a lot of the stuff that they removed did not really change that much. And Oscar just uploaded a 277 kill game on containers, and somebody else was talking to him about it, and he essentially said that movement is like number 8 on the list of things that he used to get that kill game. You know, it's the spawns being a 1-second delay, it's the spawns being bad, it's the shotguns being broken, it's just how the gameplay works. There's like 10 different things that come before the movement that he was using in that video. So more than anything, this movement nerf has just made the game a lot less fun to play for a lot of people. And for some people who literally only did movement, they didn't even care about like getting kills with the guns and whatever. They only cared about hitting cool movement clips. Those people have essentially quit the game, and we just established that the player count is, if anything, lower, and it's definitely not higher. The average playtime is not higher. The like to dislike ratio is still going down on this game. Every single day it's going down. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. Why are they doing this? Because it's pretty clear that this experiment has not done anything. If anything, it's made the game less successful. And I think the reason is the developers don't understand what makes their game have a skill gap. And secondly, I think they just did this to spite some people. I've been told Axis Angles, I think it's time to revert the movement, and he immediately unfriended me on Discord. But yeah, the developers are clearly not happy with the reaction from the community. They weren't happy with it last time. I had to actually talk Lido down from doing this last time. He kind of had like a little bit of a fit about it in the content creator chat in the Discord, especially since I used a clip of him missing a lot of shots in a row in that video. Because I joined him in the test place and he whiffed like 70 bullets in a row on a guy. And I kind of just used that as an example in that video that the developers don't understand the game that well. And it's kind of crazy to say, oh, this is all the community sentiment, this is all the numbers, and we still aren't going to change the game at all. The developers have actually completely stopped talking to anybody basically at all, especially the people that make videos on the game. They haven't talked in the content creator chat. I think Axis hasn't talked in there in like a year, and then Lido hasn't talked in 7 months, and the last time he did was with me and a bunch of other content creators when we were talking him down from nerfing the movement last time. And after they did that the first time, they did an in-game poll and told people, do you guys want the movement to get nerfed? And 70% of people said, no, we don't want the movement to get nerfed, and then they just did it anyway. And this time, they literally gave people 2 days in the test place. Everybody said it was bad, the community sentiment was hugely negative towards it, and then they pushed it anyway. So it's pretty clear that they do not care about the reaction from the community to the game, and they'd have to like have zero understanding of their game to actually do this with the intention of increasing numbers. Because yeah, that's a lot of the reason that people play the game, is the movement is very fun. Also, a lot of games on Roblox now have very fast pace. If you look at a lot of the really popular FPS games, they're all super fast paced. They basically just reduced the pace of this one for no reason, because everything is just slower now. It's even to the point that they banned a Phantom Forces YouTuber from their Discord for sending a video of Lido missing shots. It's a different one. Somebody else was spectating him and he whiffed like 2 full mags onto a guy that wasn't moving. It was very funny, but apparently he didn't like that, so he banned Spirals from his Discord. If you guys know who Spirals is, very well known in the PF community. They removed him from the content creator program a while ago for toxicity in quotation marks, because we're gonna get to that. There is a video upcoming. Get ready, guys. But they're actually trying a lot of other things to get the player count up that aren't nerfing the movement, because it's pretty clear that nerfing the movement didn't do anything for the game. And what they're doing essentially is padding the game out with 11 new guns, a lot of which could be conversions, and one of which was already an AK-12-556 conversion that they removed and then brought into the game as its own thing called like AK-19, which has the same fire rate as that old gun. It has very, very similar damage to the old gun. In fact, it's exactly the same. And so what they do is they have contractors that make weapon models, and then they just take the stats from an old conversion and then add it to a new gun. We got the AK-308, which is basically the AK-12BR old stats, but slightly tweaked. It makes no sense. And one of the best changes was this gun, the Cord R, which is rank 362. Insane rank. So this is basically to scam people out of money, because it is a full auto 400 RPM gun that can one-shot to over 100 studs to the body. This can one-shot body shot to 100 studs, and they actually added it to the game for like 6 hours before it hit the main game. 6 hours for people to quote-unquote test this gun. Super testers who had the ability to test it for more than 6 hours, which is only like 10 people, they said that essentially Lido took none of their feedback and just added this to the game. You can literally single fire this gun and it can one-shot to twice the range of many of the sniper rifles. And it's pretty clear that this is essentially to scam people and take their money, because it's ranked 362 and they artificially made it the best gun in the whole game so people would spend real money on this game. Because why else would they not allow people to test the gun before it comes out in the test place, which they invented so people can test stuff? They had it in the game for weeks and they didn't let people test it, and they didn't take anybody's feedback because it's so obvious that this gun is way too good. So if people got their hands on it to actually test the gun out, they'd be like, oh wait, this is probably going to be way too good, and they'd have to nerf the gun. But this way they can just add a really OP gun that's really expensive, so people will spend their money. It's so awesome. There's literally no other reason to do this as well. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I could literally use this like it's a sniper rifle, but it also has 400. You can one shot from that far and it shoots this fast. They also completely destroyed lasers and made kid language for the lasers now. This one says a blue colored laser pointer improves how fast you can aim with a gun. They've never done this before. They have the grips, which have like actually detailed descriptions. This one is just improves how fast you can aim with a gun, because Axis Angles wants more kids to play his game. Sounds a little weird, and it might be, but either way, nobody wanted this laser change, by the way. This completely removes the whole thing of lasers where they improve your hip fire and improve your recoil. They actually don't do that anymore. Some of them improve your scope sway on like 4 scopes in the game, which is great, because that used to be my favorite in the whole, like, dude, this gun is So balanced, by the way. This is a full auto gun that I can use like this. The developers have had multiple thousand players on their game for like 10 years and all have millions of dollars. This is what we're resorting to get people to engage with our game after we nerf the movement. It's ridiculous. Anyways, gamers, I'm very fed up with this game, and you're going to see more on that soon, because over the last week, I have been not playing this game, and I've been doing some other stuff regarding this game. You'll just have to see, okay? Subscribe for that, but I will see you all in the next one. Peace. Have a nice day.